This week in Jamaica Now, police defend the integrity of their ID card system. Delano Seivright removed as aide to opposition leader. Extradited Jamaican Richard Storyteller Morrison says he's still searching for justice. Christian Allen is the new spelling bee champion. And Jamaica's Reggae Boyz back home after historic nil-all draw against Mexico. Hello, I'm Heather Cummings, and this is Jamaica Now. The police are defending the integrity of the process to issue identification cards to members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force following claims that murdered youth advocate Omar Bailey had a police ID card. Bailey's body was found in Portmore on Sunday. The National Youth Council claims that Bailey was a member of the police force and a school resource officer. President of the council, Ryan Small, says he has always known Bailey to be a policeman. He says Bailey had an ID which declared him to be a member of the police force. However, Director of Communications at the JCF, Carl Angel, says the deceased was not a member of the constabulary. In fact, Angel told the Gleaner Par 106 News Centre that Bailey was charged twice for impersonating a policeman and convicted for other offences. The JCF Communications Director noted that there will always be unscrupulous persons who will try to imitate the police ID cards. Alleged former Shower Posse gang leader Richard Storyteller Morrison has returned to Jamaica after spending 23 years in a United States prison. Morrison was met by his mother and other relatives at the Denham Town Police Station after being processed. Morrison, whose 1991 high-profile extradition generated a near 5-year-long diplomatic standoff between Jamaica and the U.S., says he's still searching for justice. Morrison was whisked away to the U.S. in 1991 through what local officials described as an administrative error before his appeal against his extradition was completed.
I'm past bitter. I'm embarrassed for these people who claim to be scholars, to claim to have integrity. Now let me tell you something, and this is honest. I have never dealt with a more corrupt set of people. I have used
Jamaica, United States.
Period, both places. I have dealt with the man in the street, both in Jamaica and in the United States, but their reputation precedes them. So in other words, if a person is not a trustworthy person on the street, somebody will inform you that that person is not to be trusted, and you have the option to avoid him. This is the first time I was in trust on some people that I didn't choose to deal with. And I'm telling you, I've never dealt with a more corrupt set of people.
Former Generation 2000 President Delano Seivright has reacted to the decision of the opposition leader to remove him as an aide. It's not a big deal, Seivright said in an emailed response. This week, Holness confirmed the personal changes, disclosing that Marlon Morgan would now take over the functions which were carried out by Seivright. And former National Security Minister Dwight Nelson will now take over the information function from Arthur Williams. It is not clear why the changes were made, but Holness insisted it was a simple rotation as there are others in the party who are in need of the exposure and income. And Seivright says he's still an advisor to the opposition leader and very active politically. Arden High School's Christian Allen is the Gleaner's Children's Zone 2013 Spelling Bee champion. The Glen Archer coach student emerged the champion from a field of 14 top spellers. Christian correctly spelt the word hierarchy, which means an act or rite of worship.
H-I-E-R-U-R-G-Y, hierarchy.
That's correct. Second place went to Stephen Nelson of Glenmuir High School in Clarendon, while Shantae Blackwood of Wolmer's High School in Kingston was placed third. Finally, Jamaica's Reggae Boyz are now back from Mexico after a historic nil-all draw at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. The Reggae Boyz surprisingly held off the powerhouse team to gain their first ever point against the CONCACAF team. Jamaica has been hammered 8-0, 2-1, 6-0, 4-0 and 3-0 in 5 previous World Cup encounters in Mexico City. Wednesday night's nil-all draw leaves Jamaica on 1 point, the same as Mexico and 2 behind Honduras, who lead the 6-team group on 3 points after their 2-1 victory over the USA earlier in the day in San Pedro Sula. Panama and Costa Rica are also on 1 point after playing to a 2-2 result in Panama City. 6 countries are competing for CONCACAF's 3 automatic places in the FIFA World Cup Finals in Brazil 2014. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. We welcome your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and like us on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Heather Cummings, inviting you to join us again for another edition of Jamaica Now. And as we go, we leave you with more from the 2013 Spelling Bee Finals.
Irrevocable.
Where, please?
Irrevocable.
Irrevocable.
Coetaneous.
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 Dear Villa. Dear Villa. Dear Villa. Dear Villa. Dear Villa. Hierarchy. H I E R U R G Y. Hierarchy. That's correct.
Kingston's Shante Blackwood placed 3rd, making it a trifecta for veteran coach Reverend Glenn Archer.